Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, red slimes and blue slimes, and runners of all ages, and welcome to Game 2 of this final quarterfinals matchup between Archfield and Ryguy here at the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament. My name is Bob Pineapple, MD, and joining me today is Hoodie Two Shoes here in the booth. Hoodie, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to this hot quarterfinals action. Looks like we're starting out with no spells, 10 strength, and only 20 HP. So we'll have to see if we get any bailouts with the starting items or things nearby, or if they're on this 10. 10's not that bad, but you know, it could be a slower start depending on how things go.
Yep, especially depending on those first couple of levels for sure. Archfield is up 1-0 in this quarterfinals matchup, so trying to seal the deal here. Otherwise, we'll have a rubber game tomorrow with Beta waiting in the wings for the semifinals matchup for whoever wins this one. Cyrno has already punched a ticket to the finals, so we'll have to go through that semifinals matchup first before then. But we'll see how this plays out. Will Archfield sweep, or will we need a final game?
Yeah, a lot on the line here, and definitely a challenge awaits no matter what happens at the end of this, because like you said, awaiting in the semifinal is Beta on this side of the tournament. So very exciting stuff. Really interested to see the complexion of this map, and you know, when the spells and stats come. That's always interesting. Here we go.
Yep. Getting things started right here. We'll check our first three chests, of course. We know the back one's going to be a key, but we'll see if we have anything interesting in the first two. Gold and fairy water.
So two definite things that can help you get offense. Fairy water is offense with the 9 to 16 guaranteed damage on any enemy, and then enough gold to buy a hand axe if you can find a town. We've got swamp though.
But luckily, they don't have to step into it to leave the castle. We do have an immediate cave to the northwest.
Yeah, and Drakey on Archfield's side, definitely an enemy at 10 strength that you can take on. With a fairy water, though, the Scorpion could prove to be very good. 10, not enough, but 11 or 12, very likely to get there, and does.
And does, yeah. So that's going to be that first level and almost level 3. Got 6 more power, 3 speed, 1 hit point, and 25 magic with heal.
Yeah, that's really nice. And Scorpion is a great enemy to find right away. Magidrakey also great. Imagine Archfield used that fairy water there. We're going to get that same level. So big MP and heal, very nice to get at level 2.
So Tablet Cave is the cave that's right outside of Tantacle here. Ryguy's going to go ahead and move through it. Stones of Sunlight, so a necessary check, thankfully close to home, so Archfield unlikely to bypass it, as Archfield gets level 3 here. 0, 1, 4, 5, so not much of a level.
Yeah, not really helpful other than giving you some more casts of heal the next time that you go home, but Archfield has not died yet, so hasn't gotten that MP refilled. Can't use the heal spell yet, but we'll have quite a number of them whenever he gets that MP refilled.
And doing his best to try and grab level 4 here rapidly, and is going to get it. So we're going to see 6, 9, 0, 4, outside, and return.
Well, Archfield is going to be able to use outside to save, 30 some odd seconds for that tablet, and finds a town, still has the gold too, so. Oh, his Rim.
Rim, so keys not going to be a problem at all in this seed.
Yeah, and, notably hasn't died yet, so still has all the money to buy a full complement of keys. We'll see what the chest has here, and then maybe he'll scout the weapon shop too.
Oh, AK-47 on Ryguy's screen, just outside of a cave, gets sent home.
Yeah, with 30 agility, that's not looking like a very easy, and 25 HP. Pretty much every armored knight encounter is going to end in death.
The Rimbledor chest has a key, so the infamous 2-for-1. Gonna go ahead and check the weapon and armor shop. Silver Shield is available. Archfield's gonna go ahead and grab that chainmail.
Yeah, the small shield as well. Looks like only bought a couple of keys and then saved money for a potential hand axe. And we'll have to see if he's going to go buy more keys now that, you know, no weapon was available.
Bamboo pole for Archfield. And Ryguy finds out that scorpions have hurt more.
That's pretty nice that he didn't get hurt more after he used the fairy water. Would have had to reset to get the fairy water back. So very nice on that first encounter to not have experienced that.
Archfield finally dies, gets sent back home, so gets a refill on everything. But now has keys, so we're going to see a treasury check here. Gold grind is available with a silver shield on offer. There's Erdrick's armor.
So yeah, that rim acquisition, huge as he picks up those wings there too. So you already mentioned the silver shield being available in rim and then having the armor. Pretty important stuff.
Yeah, I'd place almost guaranteed odds we're going to see silver shield purchases in this seed from both our runners.
Yeah, definitely. Also would love to scout out a town that has a good weapon as well if you could, because that bamboo pole is, you know, not the biggest upgrade. And we'll need a, you know, place to set up the gold grind as well. So if this is not one of the 5, which it's not, it's a swamp. It could be connected to Garenham though, which would allow you to, it's not. So you're going to need, you know, mountain or grave to set it up.
Yep, and neither has been located yet, so shouldn't be too difficult. Ryguy grabbing that level 4 now.
Yep, picking up return and outside. So both players even on XP, but Archfield going down to rim has acquired, you know, the Erdrick's armor and keys, which seems to be quite an advantage at this point. But in terms of XP, still right there.
Yeah, Archfield running from that metal scorpion. He's defense breaking a lot right now, but doesn't really have the attack power to punch through.
Yeah, and I don't think that there was any good weapon available in that rim shop, so I think they would need to find another town in order to get offense, or they need to learn hurt or hurt more.
Archfield taking down a skeleton as Ryguy is killed by one.
22 strength without, or I guess 24 attack power for Archfield, 22 for Ryguy. It's not feeling great against most enemies. You know, you're okay against the zone 0 through 2 enemies, some of them, but you'd like to be doing a lot better.
Archfield is closing in on level 5 as he's exploring on the other side of Swamp Cave here. Very little exploration so far, so we don't know if this is a second continent or if it is one contiguous one.
Level 5 coming here.
Level 5. Yep, that's going to be 5. We're going to get 3, 2, 14, 3, and hurt more. So off to the races now.
Definitely, yeah. Now you don't care about that weapon so much, and Silver Shield still feeling pretty great. Extra defense we have hurt more is always welcome. Rogue Scorpion gonna get you, but not to death.
No, and an excellent hurt more target. One of the best you can see.
Yeah, at this point, you love anything that you're guaranteed to hurt more in one, and it gives you, you know, 70 XP or more.
He's going to go and hurt more this Druin, and that's going to be enough for a level 6. Which is going to be 4, 1, 1, 1, and stop spell.
Looks like Ryguy is getting that, where is Ryguy right now?
Ryguy is in Mountain. Oh, Archfield finds Garenham.
So I think the dragon scale picked up there for Ryguy in that chest.
So we've got several chest checks incoming. Archfield the back of Garenham, and of course Ryguy the rest of Mountain. We're going to check what's available in the weapon shop here. Large magic armor, unnecessary.
I didn't see if there are any weapons there or not.
Nothing looked terribly enticing to me there, but he went through fairly quickly. Broadsword.
Doing 2 damage to a droll is just quite a slog.
Well, there's Erdrick's token at the back of Garenham.
I think that for this level with Ryguy, he's going to, yeah, he gets hurt more now, so should be able to start amassing more XP pretty quickly.
Oh, we have some DL2 breath on a Wraith. So Archfield unable to continue that exploration.
We got a Cursed Belt here in Mountain for Ryguy, as he's getting some Wolf Lords, a pretty great target right now for Hurtmore as well.
Archfield now headed to Tablet, will grab his Stones of Sunlight and has Outside now, so we'll be able to get out quickly.
Yeah, if Ryguy finds a key in Mountain, that would be very good for him, because then he could go and get that armor without needing Rim.
There's the Silver Harp. Yep, so that is all our plot tokens. We just need the Harp Turn-In Cave, which Archfield has found.
Only thing we really need is the sword now, at least on stream, you know, what we've seen. The only thing we haven't seen is the sword. So this could be getting into go look for grind stuff pretty quick.
Yeah, we did see a Cursed Belt, which means one of our 3 search spots is activated. Of course, we're also missing the Flute and the Death Necklace right now, which can also be on those spots.
And we're still a very, you know, 280 XP for Ryguy right now. And he gets a key that is enormous. Ryguy could set up a gold grind here. Doesn't know about anything, but, you know, if he goes south the rim, could potentially get something out of it here.
Yeah, that could end up working out very nicely for him.
But he's very likely to get this armor, you know, almost guaranteed. You know, anything can happen in this life, but Ryguy about to pick up the armor as well. So this race is certainly quite close.
And Ryguy takes the Death Warp.
Spectre, another nice enemy that you can kill with a Hurtmore and progress yourself decently. You should go first. It's nice and it's on the safer side. And Archfield sees a town, but has a green dragon.
Takes it down in 1. That's going to be level 7. 2 power, 5 speed, 8 hit points, 20 MP.
That helps a lot. You're really hoping that this isn't going to be Hawksness now, and it is. So.
And of course.
It could work out if it's Axe Knight or something that you can feasibly kill with 1 Hurtmore, but
Green Dragon. You can conceivably kill it in 1. Low roll, though.
As a torch, this is way better than swinging. And enough. Amazing.
Fantastic. Nothing in Hawksness.
Well, you did see that belt, but it was not for this spot. So, item denied here.
So Ryguy does not gold grind, but he also has not seen Rim, so doesn't realize that there's a silver shield on offer.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to check the Swamp Spike here. And a Golem is something to think about, but with 29 and 31 strength respectively, and a bamboo pole at highest, that is not, you know, is quite as good as that Green Dragon looks.
Yeah, Archfield sent back now by an AK-47, couldn't run. It's only 17 experience from level 8.
Archfield going to pick up a little bit of gold. I wonder if Archfield's thinking about getting broadsword money.
That's my guess.
Ryguy going to catch up to level 7, but Archfield very close to level 8 here now. Ryguy, is this going to be... I don't know if this is Rim. Nope, this is Garenham.
Yeah, this is Garenham.
So yeah, Archfield definitely has a distinct exploration advantage, and is ahead on XP as well. So I would say that that gives him the advantage for now, but these things can change rapidly with deaths on the map and, you know, exploration directions.
And there's level 8 for Archfield. That's going to be 13 power, 1 speed, 10 hit points, 7 MP.
Things are rising. You know, 44 strength, still not great. You'd love to have a weapon. Getting that up to, you know, 66, or if you could get the sword 86, would be a lot better than the current 46 right now.
Yeah, HP's still a little behind, so it does keep, you know, your survivability in exploration on the lower end, but slowly starting to catch up.
Yeah, and you might wonder if you find like a town and a decent grind, maybe just try to stick it out, get some hurt more levels, and see if you can't get your stats out. But you could also, you know, find what you need real quick. So it's hard to know what the best choice is in these kinds of moments.
So Archfield is heading back to Garenham because Grave is underneath it. Ryguy, meanwhile, entering Grave for the first time.
Picking up a dragon scale from the shop. And I imagine if and when Archfield finds Mountain, might be trying to think about a death out of there, but having the armor is going to make it harder to die. I'm not sure if we saw anything super scary in Mountain.
Okay, Archfield wanted the large shield, not the broadsword, and picks that up. We see fairy water in the first chest, empty, and gold.
Yeah, the real question is there going to be an easy way to die out of either of those caves to set up that gold grind?
Ryguy going to go ahead and do the deep dive here.
It makes sense. They're also looking for potentially Cold or Cantlin. One of those two is for sure populated, and all they need is the sword, though. So knowing that like there's only one search spot out there, and that it's 2/3 to be not the sword, might be pushing them towards chests.
Yeah, and if you find the sword here, then you're done.
So we'll see if Archfield's going to make the same choice to dive, but chest 4, not what we were looking for. We'll see what chest 5 ends up being. It could also be one of the flute or the death necklace, which would give you new information, or another cursed belt could also give you new information.
We have also not seen Freebie Cave, or the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave. Just gold, so yeah, bust.
Well, we know more now, but yeah, we don't know everything. Ryguy has seen all the 10 chests in the Grave and Mountain, though, which is a pretty big chunk of knowledge to have.
It's level 9, 10 power, 15 speed, 7 hit points, 10 magic, and sleep.
Pretty good level. These things are coming. We don't have heal more yet, but you know, the gains have been steady. HP is still not where you'd love it to be, but things are getting better. A pretty big difference from level 7 to 9 here in terms of the stats. Just the walking around, agility, HP, having MP, even the strength makes a big difference.
Archfield on chest 4 now, heading down to 5.
Ragai closing in on level 8, but has fallen a little bit even further behind Archfield on the XP here. It's nothing that with Hurt More you can't catch up quick, but Ragai into Rimildar here. We'll see if he sees the shield and maybe tries to get the gold for it.
Yeah, possibly a little less enticing now because he's already been in both Mountain Cave and Grave, and he's not even going to check.
Yeah, maybe at this point you've got Hurt More, you've got a large shield, so you're just looking for the sword and grinding. So I can totally believe, don't waste the time getting the extra 10. 10 defense.
Takes 8. Yeah, and the agility gains have been solid, so no real reason to think that you're necessarily going to need to upgrade to silver.
Yeah, Beta was pointing out in chat earlier that Archfield, with the knowledge that there's a green dragon spike, might be more inclined to try to set up the silver shield, because you could be in a breaking green dragon grind, which would be pretty nice.
Archfield goes ahead and picks up that broadsword. That's going to save on resources a little bit.
Yeah, or even, the Star Wyverns and Green Dragons and things that you might not kill in one Hurt More, get you a little bit stronger up there to guarantee a one-swing dispatch. There's a lot of stuff real clumped together early on. You got, essentially all the homework and the armor, and now we're looking for a bunch of disparate locations for one item.
Yeah, we do need the drop cave. There's Sharlock on Raigai's screen, and of course, Erdrick's sword could very well be in Sharlock. We have not seen another cursed belt.
Yeah, and we still have the flute and the death necklace that could be that, responsible for that cursed belt. We've got hurt on golems.
Another cave on Raigai's side, and it is freebie cave, so we are going to see this check. It's the death necklace. So now that one cursed belt location is looking 50-50. We have only coal and the overworld search spot remaining that is not Sharlock to check.
50-50 odds definitely in favor, and they could both be populated. The cursed belt could also be in Sharlock if there's another one, so you gotta check both. Your search spots need to be very, very important here.
Yeah, very true, and I do not believe even in any of the weapon shops we've seen a flame sword. The Erdrick sword, the one item that it can be feasible to finish the game without, just depending on how stats roll out, but you really kind of need that flame sword.
Yeah, it's way harder to do it with the broadsword than the flame sword. But Cantlin's still out there, gives you the best chance to see that, though.
Yeah, we have not seen Cantlin, nor have we seen Cole, nor have we seen Breckenary. For all the good that would do. That's level 10, 5, 6, 6, 10 hurt. So again, steady incremental gains and solid MP.
Archfield into the mountain cave, so this is going to be a bunch of knowledge. Was the harp in here as well? I think it was.
Yes, he's going to pick up his harp here, and Archfield has seen where that turn-in cave is.
So there are green dragons up here. We'll have to see if Archfield is going to think about dying out of here to pick up a shield, or if he's not interested and just going to continue on.
Yeah, I will be interested if Archfield does the gold grind here, takes a death warp out. We will see.
Yeah, with it be, I guess it's only 23 minutes in, but as far as the way this seed feels in terms of the items you have, and you've got hurt more, it feels like it's later in the seed, and maybe you're just worried about moving as fast as you can right now.
Yeah, I could certainly see Archfield just deciding, with the large shield, I'm already at 72 defense, and I'm clearly not in go level yet. Seems unnecessary. There's goal.
Oh, baby.
Well, there it is. So now Ryguy needs to find the harp turn-in. He has not found that yet. And of course, we are still missing the Rainbow Drop Cave.
Yeah, but this is 24 minutes, and we've got we have all the items. We just, like you said, need to trade them in and then enter Sharlock after grinding. But if this is a low go level, this could be a very fast seed. As Ryguy can't run from a stone man, that's like his brand right there. So that's a real bummer.
Archfield is trying to die, so this looks like a gold grind play.
But yeah, we'll have to see if that might help or hurt Ryguy in terms of getting to the trade-in caves and getting the knowledge. Maybe get into Hawksness to find the green for a bit before you try to fight the golem.
And sure enough, gold grind for Archfield. So he's going to grab enough here to get that silver shield.
Ryguy got the staff traded in, so just needs to get the drop and then XP, and that's it.
Yep, as soon as he finds that drop cave, he will be in grind and go mode.
No repel is unfortunate. It's always annoying when you're wandering around the world and dealing with the likes of blue slime.
And Archfield has enough.
Yeah, so going to be at 84 defense by the time he gets that. We'll trade in for his staff as well, and it won't take much agility to get up to 88, which is the green dragon mark.
He did sprinkle fairy water, so I think the idea here is we'll grab that shield, then try to explore to find the sword, and then you can always drop in on Hawksness for that green dragon grind for go mode.
Yep, and it's really going to come for Archfield down to how long does it take you to get to Cole, because that's the last thing that you need here. As Ryguy does find Hawksness, and we'll see that it's a green dragon, probably going to be here for a bit.
All right, Archfield with that silver shield now. It's furthering exploration. Check to see if he had repel, doesn't.
See if Ryguy is not searching the spot here. Maybe he's worried it's the flute and doesn't want it. You know, maybe. Oh no, he has the death necklace. Never mind. Ryguy's the one that knew about the green dragon. Then maybe Archfield doesn't. No, the death necklace was in. Never mind. There was nothing here. I remember, but I don't think he searched. So.
Archfield closing in on level 11 here. As Ryguy gets to 10.
Could see the XP gap close significantly here with Ryguy on a dedicated grind.
And here comes 11 for Archfield. That's going to bring us 2 power, 0 speed, 12 hit points, 0 MP. That's the first level we haven't seen a fairly sizable MP gain.
Yeah, up to 10 heal mores. That was not a great level though, so you're hoping for better. But this still could be like a level 14 potential go if we keep getting steady increases, but maybe it's going to flatten out. We'll have to see. Regai has caught up very well, gonna get level 11 right here, so probably gonna take the XP lead sometime soon, but is running low on the resources, gonna have to do some kind of refill cycle. That might be Cole there that Archfield is seeing, I'm not sure.
Well, there's Sharlock. We know that Cole was very close to it, as well as Freebie Cave.
So yeah, they're very close now, with Archfield getting the knowledge that the sword is here. They both need to find the drop cave and get XP in the most efficient way. So that's the race right here.
Yeah, this is essentially neck and neck at this point. We're in go mode for both. They both need to find drop cave.
This is turned into an XP sim at this point for these. They don't know it, but this is essentially an XP simulator right now. And then, you know, Sharlock RNG simulator.
Yeah, Archfield, as pointed out in chat, does have the silver shield. Regai does not. We'll have to see if that comes into play, especially when it comes time to dive Sharlock, if perhaps Repel may come in handy for Archfield.
Yeah, the thing that I can think of is it looks like Hawksness is kind of far away. And so if you can just stay with defense breaking and not, you know, have to do refill cycles, that's the advantage. But, you know, other than that, maybe if you get on the golem in a more efficient way.
So Archfield is electing to continue exploration to look for that drop cave before starting the grind, and it looks like Regai is electing instead to grind to go level before looking for drop.
I think both make sense at this point. The Green Dragon is pretty great. I'm not sure. Imagine Regai has seen the golem in the swamp as well. I don't think it's what either of them would want to be doing right now, but something to think about if they would need to get big levels later on.
Yeah, and not without heal more at this juncture, especially with 83 HP.
Yeah, you definitely want the flute for that, but you probably don't want the flute, so Green Dragon is really looking like your bet. I think the golem did have hurt, though, from what I saw. I don't know what the percentage is.
Yeah, the golem does have hurt. We're just not sure on the percentage there.
I feel like we've seen this cave that's on Archfield's screen before.
So our level 12 brought us 3035, which is basically nothing.
And that's the death necklace picked up for Archfield. So if we get a bunch of HP and that is relevant, then they're both on the equal footing there. It does look like Regai is also heading out for exploration. Neither of them know where the drop cave is. It'd be feeling way better to just have the rainbow drop and then be focusing on grinding.
Yeah, just knowing that you've got it all and the grind is the last thing you have to worry about. It's a peace of mind aspect to it.
It's only 32 minutes in, but like based on the state of the race, it feels like it's so much later. But this has just been a barn burner of a race.
And there's level 12 for Archfield. He gets that disappointing power up.
You know, sometimes these fast starts, though, they do taper down and you need to go to crazy levels to get the go. We'll have to see if this is one of those or if they're going to give us big boosts.
So slightly less than 300 experience point lead for Ryguy, which at this stage of the race is essentially nothing. Ryguy back to Hawksness now.
Yeah, and we'll expect that XP differential to grow now with Ryguy back in a dedicated grind. Although coming in with less than full MP, so it won't be, quite as good as a full refill, but still going to get a pretty good amount of XP from these resources. This map is...
Yeah, Archfield continuing to push out, looking for a drop here. Really wished, I think, in this moment that he had Repel, but the game has not granted him that yet.
Man, you can only carry so many fairy waters, so... Ryguy taking a death with 31 MP there on that green dragon, only able to get about a 400 or 300 XP ahead, so we'll have to see if he heads straight back or if he's going to try and find the drop again.
Archfield passing up a town, not interested, wants to find exactly what he just found. That is drop K for Archfield, and it's a little out of the way. So Ryguy is going to have to get a little lucky there because Archfield is now officially in grind and go mode.
Yeah, that could be big depending on how long it takes Ryguy to get back there.
Yeah, that town was either Cantlin or Breckenary, and Archfield just completely bypassed it, uninterested. But it is on a far eastern part of the map, and it is on this side of the swamp cave, the tentacle side. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll be interested to see how long it takes Ryguy to trace steps over there.
Yeah, either one of those towns could have given fairy water, so maybe Archfield with the silver might have wanted to check it out and just get it, maybe just not interested, wants to get the XP and says, I'll get Repel.
So Archfield headed toward Swamp Cave, presumably to head toward Hawksness to do the grind.
Interestingly, I don't know if this will come up or not, but it looks like the fighter's ring is inside Charlock, so if that extra 2 attack power is the difference between going or not, I think they know for sure where it is. They might have to, not likely, but in the rare circumstance, it could be cool to see a fighter ring come to play.
So for all the time Archfield spent walking around in the overworld looking for the drop, he's actually not really that far behind in experience. Just a couple of green dragon kills.
Yeah, was able to keep up very well.
And our first metal slime sighting, I believe. But it runs away immediately.
Yeah, we need about 30 more attack power or so to be able to give it the real business.
And now we have dueling green dragons here on this spike. Ryguy is about to cross over into level 13 with this green dragon.
Have to see if they get heal more here. Could be interesting to start thinking about the golem once you get access to heal more.
It's going to be 2, 19, 5 radiant and heal more.
I mean, the radiant is the big one, right?
Every time. So 19 HP, that puts us into go mode HP at a minimum.
Yeah, just waiting on some extra strength and, maybe MP depending on how much strength we get.
Yeah, we need about 20 more strength to even make the play feasible, and that would be with fairy waters, but you're hoping to not have to rely on that.
could get Death Necklace HP as well, and both of them have access to it.
Very possible. Archfield is about to get level 13.
Once you get that heal more, I think with how far away you got to walk to get here, and with the golem being just right underneath the castle, it would make a lot of sense to check that out, especially with the hurt. I would love to see what the percentage of hurt is.
So Ragai down to his last hurt more here.
Looks like the old Death Warp as Metal Slime gets in the way for Archfield, and it has Weak Breath.
And Sleep.
We've got Wombo Combo at home.
And Ragai takes the death. That's going to allow Archfield to catch up here, what little he was behind in experience. And of course, Ragai, as noted, still has to find the Rainbow Drop Cave, and it is not exactly out in plain sight.
Yeah, he's leaving, maybe thinking about trying to find the cave, or he might be heading back to Hawksness. We'll have to see what his choice is here. Looks like Hawks.
Yep, looks like Ryguy's decided I'm just going to grind to go stats and then go looking. Archfield squeezes one last green dragon out of his resources here and has briefly taken the experience lead as a result.
Yeah, real good job to have gotten the drop and now be, neck and neck on the XP.
Repel, the only spell outstanding, and the one you really kind of want right now.
Late repel seeds are, they can be very frustrating, as we see Archfield heading towards the swamp. This may be a golem switch.
Yeah, this looks like a golem switch to me. Just depending on how often the golem casts hurt, this could be a big play.
I would love to see if it has another spell as well. If it has stop spell, I mean, that would be crazy. Or if it has like heal more, that would make things different. Have to see what its stop resistance is.
Yeah, it's definitely worth finding out. It's right here. And if Golem is the play, taking the Death Warp grind is super easy and costs you almost no time at all.
And Ragai got 1-3-25-7. Level 14, so Death Necklace HP.
Yep, that is available now.
Archfield got a stop spell out after seeing the hurt.
Also has a heal, regular heals, yeah.
If it doesn't have a big stop spell resist, this is kind of amazing. I mean, it's even with hot, it's still amazing. We're going to get to see the difference here between these two grinds, unless Ragai starts to get on the Golem as well. And we expect the Golem to be much faster, but, the proof will be put in front of us right here.
Yeah, you do expect the Golem to be faster, though worth noting that the heal does add some swings, especially if you have to throw stop spells. But Archfield now at 14 is going to see the 1-3-25-7.
And that extra HP just makes this golem fight feel better. You want the extra strength if you can get it, but you know, we're doing okay. The refill distance, I think, is also relevant. Even though Hawks isn't the most, you know, it's not the furthest away. Just being able to come right back down to the basement to this spike helps a lot.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And we have not seen Stop Spell miss on the Golem yet, so very helpful.
Yeah, suddenly all those heals turn into not having to use resources for yourself to heal, which makes it worth that Stop Spell cast.
To answer Vela V, they found kind of Schrodinger's Cantlin / Breck, Archfield did on the way looking for the Rainbow Drop, but he didn't walk in. So we don't know if it was Cantlin or Breck.
Ragai not heading to Swamp, so looking pretty good for Archfield here in these moments.
Yeah, Archfield about to retake the experience lead here, and of course, as mentioned, Archfield already has the Rainbow Drop.
What we don't know is the complexion of Sharlock. I don't think we've seen, or at least I haven't seen a red dragon. We don't know what it may have or may not, but, you know, with Golem being nerfed, I don't know that we're super worried, but you never know. Sharlock is the great equalizer.
So far, a 100% success rate on stop spells.
Yeah, that feels really good. It also prepares you for a spike of this. If you see this on the spike, you know that Stop Spell is very likely going to help you tremendously. And we're one golem away from level 15 on Archfield's side.
Yep, so we'll see what 15 brings us. Any big strength gain is likely go time.
And we see those golem stats. It's got 75% heal, 50 hurt. That is pretty favorable.
Yep, hard to argue with this play. Yeah, a 2 out of 16 stop spell resist, so essentially free.
Yeah, you'll miss Stop Spell as much as you miss Hurtmores on Green Dragons, which surprisingly hasn't happened yet, but it will. It'll happen.
And there's level 15 for Archfield. 15 power, 2 speed, 10 hit points, 8 magic. That is Death Necklace go time.
Yeah, that is 13 heal mores with potentially 132 attack power.
No repel. So repel is the level 16 spell.
So here we'll have to see if he does have Green Dragon. You know, he could repel Green Dragon on down, but would have to go all the way back to Breck or Cantlin, which he didn't go into, but has to know that it's either of those.
So big advantage here for Archfield. Ragai still has not found the drop.
Yeah, that's the real enormous advantage here for Archfield. So hopefully Ragai can find that as quickly as possible, but we'll need some kind of error or failure for Archfield at this point, I think.
Ooh, Archfield getting hung up on this sleep casting metal slime. Just wasting time.
And it's 48 minutes getting ready to go. This has been a scorcher. Not, you know, the fastest of all time. It did take a little bit of work to get to the drop. and you know, get into the grind. But this is electric. This is very fast.
All right, Archfield topping off in coal, then we'll just head immediately south to Charlock.
.76 agility is, you know, it's on the lower end of what you want, but it's still pretty good. We see Archfield using a key to get in here, maybe looking for herbs.
Yeah, I think this is an herb buildup.
And Ryguy does find Cantland. That means he's in the right spot to get to the drop, but yeah.
And he's selling, so it looks like we're going to see a lot of fairy waters. I think this is just an exploration play, but he doesn't realize that the drop cave is literally like half a screen from where he is now.
Yeah, just a little bit behind is going to be several minutes behind into Charlock here. So Archfield has a very commanding position right now. We got 3 zones in Charlock. The first floor and the first dark floor are one zone. And then, you know, the next zones until the U are zone 2. And then the U on down is zone 3. So we'll have to see what kind of enemies we have here. So we've got Armored Knight, Blue Dragon so far.
Yep, and at 76 agility, it's not a number you love going into Charlock. You're likely to run into at least a handful of run blocks, although Archfield has yet to do a single one, but there's a back attack.
Yeah, it looks like Ryguy returned very nearby what we assume had to be the drop cave because he was in Cantland, so maybe didn't see the place to go. Oh, that wasn't the town that Archfield walked past? Never mind then. Okay.
Ah, so Archfield walked past... Then we know that Archfield walked past Breckenary. So Ryguy even further behind than we initially thought.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some kind of error or failure on this dive for, or, you know, just horrible RNG.
Well, Archfield having to take the full 4 runs on that AK, and that's that 76 agility popping up to say hi.
Yeah, an Armored Knight doesn't have to be particularly special to cause you a bad time.
Had a great first floor, and now... Thankfully, 140 HP means he's got the buffer, but...
Yeah, you're just hoping that the game doesn't throw it at you over and over, as we're into Zone 2 now, so we'll see if there are still Armored Knights in the zone or not.
Axe Knight to start. Golem. You don't like the back attack, but at least you know they're very liable to cast spells.
Yeah, and those 2 enemies so far are not the ones you are necessarily worried about unless they have bad spells and abilities. 3 that you're not necessarily worried about.
Yep, so a much better zone so far. But we are going to be moving into Zone 3.
And Werewolf is 4, so there's only one more possibility. So this is looking like a potentially friendlier zone. All it takes is 1, though, you know? We're going to be in Zone 3 real quick.
There's a exceedingly good chance that the fighter's ring is in the treasury down here. I'll be kind of curious if Archfield goes for it or not. It's unnecessary, probably, but you never know.
Yeah, it definitely probably matters whether you lose that 13th heal more or not.
Definitely. All right, so Zone 2 was much easier, but Zone 3 does have Armored Knights.
I'm just going for it. I love it. We're on the path here. We'll see if there's other things that are scary or if it's just the Armored Knight we got to look out. Oh, okay, sure.
Red Dragon, all right, so all the reds. There's a Green Dragon. You're not worried about that.
So we only saw the one. I think that's the first red dragon I've seen. I don't know if it has a spell or ability. So we are in the dark. We haven't seen it do anything yet.
And the spike tile is a green dragon.
Well, we know that that is safe.
Broken.
Looks like Ryguy's going to get the drop. Will get the drop, but Archfield on DL1.
Yep, so Archfield a full dive ahead. On goes the Death Necklace.
$25, kind of a bummer roll.
Yeah, and back-to-back Hurtmores. 3 Hurtmores in a row. So Archfield going to try and herb up a little here.
Yeah, gonna play the herb game, see if he can't get a stop spell.
It's all Hurtmores. It's the last herb. Well, every single attack from DO1 a Hurtmore until the final one here. Finally a stop spell.
Bailed out by that stop spell. It feels real bad to attack 4 times on DL1.
High chance of a back attack here, and yep, there it is. So he's gonna have to burn a Healmore right off. And a terrible opening roll of 8. $18. You really want to double in here. Have that Silver Shield do its work. That's 27. $35. These rolls. $45. $57. $67. Oh man, 75. This is not looking great. But does get that second one in there. So 88. $100 on the dot. $114. This is going to come down to the wire. $124. Needs high rolls here. $137. $147. Oh no. $158. Not enough.
Yikes. Well, Ryguy is in Charlock on the dive, so if he has better fortunes with that DL1 into DL2 fight, could be right in there to win.
Yep, and he did pick up Fairy Water. We'll see if that comes into play here at all. Although, you know, for what you're swinging wearing the Death Necklace, not really much of a difference here, if any at all.
Yeah, that's tough, and you know, dealing 158 damage could be enough, so that's tough.
So a full dive advantage evaporated. 158 against the Dragon Lord.
A lot of low rolls there. Not ideal.
Yeah, and the the fight against DL1, which took several swings and just wouldn't stop casting, hurt more. And then, of course, the back attack causing the having to waste the heal more right from jump. Was
had an opportunity to swing on 48, but elected not to because it was right at the beginning, and it totally makes sense. But looking back at it, you're thinking, what if?
Yeah, late in the fight, if you see that, you're probably swinging.
But it might have been for the first one of the first swings, so it's you know, it's hard to go on the first swing with an opportunity to die.
One now wonders about that fighter's ring.
Ragai not going for it.
And whether or not that would have been the difference. Now, Ragai is going in with 10 less defense, so it'll be interesting to see how the RNG plays out on DL2's attacks to Ragai.
Almost no chance. I mean, think again about any doubles. It was very unlikely that Archfield got that double, but it was nice.
Yeah, so it's going to come down to how friendly are the rolls, the attack rolls for Ragai.
Yeah, being able to maintain that opening heal more is going to be very important.
Archfield getting run blocked by a metal scorpion feels like an omen.
And what Archfield wouldn't give to have Fairy Water or Repel right now with that 88 defense. There's a bunch of enemies in here that he could be not seeing.
Ragai getting run blocked twice by a green dragon. He is not defense breaking green dragons, which we know the spike tile is.
And Ragai does have MP for 2 heals to cast without losing a heal more.
Ragai just getting trolled by green dragons all up and down here. So Ragai's going to have to burn through all of his herbs. Well, no, that's right. He does have 2 casts of heal. Probably still going to have to do it anyway, it looks like.
He could put the death necklace on now and just go into the fight, but I'm going to use the herbs.
Yep, so is going to need to hope he has an easier time with DL1 than Archfield did. Well, he does get a stop spell. Archfield couldn't buy a stop spell.
Not good rolls.
Yeah, not great. Here's swing 3. That was enough. It took Archfield 4. We'll see if he gets back attacked. He does. And 48, just like Archfield in the opening round of DL2.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that non-swing on 48 is going to be a problem for Ragai as well, knowing that it has more than 158 HP.
Well, that opening 13, way better than Archfield's opening swing. 22. Wow. 37. Archfield didn't see a single 15 his entire fight. $50 on the dot. This is looking so much better than Archfield's go-around. $61. $71. $84. 96. $107. Yeah, this is not great. 116. That's a great roll right there. So we're at 131. $142. This is looking good now. The rolls are really coming for him. $157. That does it on the final swing. He was essentially guaranteed on that last swing thanks to some really nice rolls early. And Ryguy comes from behind thanks to RNG shenanigans, as is per usual here at Dragon Warrior Randomizer, to stave off elimination. And he will tie this up 1-1 with Archfield, and we will have a rubber match tomorrow.
That's really exciting. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. GG to Ryguy.
Yep, it's never over till it's over. Archfield still can't seem to get any rolls here in the DL2 fight. It is maddening. And we'll see if we can get Ryguy here to join us while Archfield is trying to finish up his fight here. Oh, there's a 15. That would have been nice to see the first time around.
Yeah, that's essentially 2 attacks from his last fight. Don't have a good idea how close this is.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was busy counting over on Ryguy's when he started this fight, so we'll just see here. And there it is. Had 2 swings to spare on that one. GG's out for Archfield, who will finish second. Gotta be, especially when you watch it back, a frustrating one. It happens. You do everything right, and then sometimes it's just not enough.
Yeah, that's just how this game is. It loves to put its hand into your chest and rip your heart out. Like that's what it does.
And that's a 106.46, so just a little over 2 minutes. Which doesn't even tell the story, really, about how close this actually was.
But yeah, great stuff all around. It was close pretty much the whole time. It just Archfield got that drop earlier, and that was the big advantage. But yeah, not a whole lot to separate outside of that golem. But with the goal level being at 15, it really didn't make that big of a difference.
Ultimately, no. It looks like we are going to get Archfield in here. Just waiting on him to come in. But we will have a game 3, and that will be tomorrow. Winner of that one will go on to the semifinals versus Beta. And joining us here is Archfield. Archfield, GG.
Hey, thanks.
So this was a nail biter all the way down to the end. Such a quick seed. How are you feeling about it all the way through?
Honestly, felt pretty decent about it. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fairly solid. There was weren't really many roadblocks in this one. Only even halfway unfortunate thing that happened, which was moderately predictable, was that death and grave the first time in. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty smooth.
Yeah, you were really off to the races on this one, the both of you. And then, of course, that first DL2 fight, it was so interesting to see you get to the 158. You did everything right up to that point, and just the rolls not coming, and you had a full dive lead going into that, and unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, and this happens. This happens all the time if you play in the tournament long enough. It's happened before. It will probably happen again. It's happened where I've been on the other side of it too. So you just, you absorb that and move on. From an outcomes perspective, it's disappointing. Of course, would have liked to have advanced, but we have another shot tomorrow, and we'll just give it our best then instead.
I wanted to ask about when you were going for the rainbow drop, you passed by the town, you didn't go in. I think it turned out to be Breckenary by process of elimination, because Ryguy didn't go in either. But were you thinking about maybe getting fairy water at that point, or was it something that you decided that you didn't want?
Well, I figured... I mean, I did think about it. I thought, well, I could double back to this town, because I knew it had to be... I'm pretty sure at that point I knew it had to be Breckenary or Cantland, so fairy water is available there one way or the other, and after I traded for the drop, that frees up the inventory spaces that I would want for it. In hindsight, I guess it's something you could do. It does itself take time, so whether or not that makes a difference at the end of this race, I'm not sure. Certainly I would have used it for repelling, I think, because we didn't have repel, so I think I would have probably opted to do that. And that would have saved like a pretty decent chunk of time, because there was all the walking to Charlock and then to Cole and whatever else. So yeah, I mean, it was something that occurred to me at the time, but when I got to the cave, I mean, I think that was also the last cave that I needed to see. So when I saw the cave, I was like, well, let's drop it. I got to get out of here. But in a seed that's moving this quickly, I think it's rough to say, well, I'm going to go back for fairy water, and it really would have taken full advantage of the silver shield, but that's one of those decisions that I think probably could go either way, and I'm ultimately not sure. It's a little bit fuzzy whether or not that ends up saving any time, or even just helps if I decide to use those against Dragon Lord or something instead. I didn't even really crunch the numbers on that, because once I returned from Rainbow Drop Cave, I'm like, well, I'm not getting my hands on any fairy water, so I'm not even going to think about the implications of that for the rest of the seed. So
it makes perfect sense.
All right, well, I don't think we're going to get Ryguy in for an interview, so any final thoughts on this one, Archfield, and then thinking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah, no, just a super fun seed. I actually really enjoyed that run. The first Dragon Lord fight notwithstanding. Yeah, I'm looking forward to another one tomorrow. It's nice to get to race live. I know that I'm, to a certain extent holding up the proceedings here a little bit with the way my schedule has worked out against my opponents to this point, but I'm glad that Ryguy and I were able to race this one live today, and that we'll get to do another one tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. So thanks to the broadcast crew. Thanks, ValueV, for restreaming this one. Thank you to Darren for tracking, and thanks to both of you, Bob and Hoodie, for doing commentary on this one. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Well, absolutely. This was an enjoyable one. I know chat was really into it throughout. But yeah, everyone make sure you're back tomorrow for the rubber match on this one. And then the winner of that will, of course, move on to the semifinals versus Beta. And then after that, Cyrano awaits them in the finals. We are rapidly reaching the end of the 2025 Summer Randomizer Tournament, but several matches yet to go before we get there, so make sure you're staying tuned all through that. That said, again, great race run by both our runners here, Archfield and Ryguy. And on behalf of the Restream crew here, our Restreamer Velo V, our tracker Darren, and of course my broadcast booth partner Hoodie Two Shoes, I've been Bob Pineapple MD. Everyone have a great rest of their afternoon and evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.